I have got a super fun show for you today. In today's episode of The Best of Raleigh, we're talking with Cary Heise, the founder and executive director of Design for Joy, a Raleigh nonprofit that provides women in crisis with a safe and dignified as well as fulfilling job as an artisan. These employees are trained to craft gorgeous leather goods and accessories just like the one you see here, and I'm so excited to speak with Cary. Now, Design for Joy has hired more than 140 women who have earned over $500,000 in living wages. Design for Joy just opened up in Makers Alley in the North Hills Innovation District, and we're so excited to have them as a neighbor, and you're going to love what you hear from Cary today.
Welcome to The Best of Raleigh with your host and real estate expert, Gretchen Coley, owner of the Coley Group. This show is all about the people and places that make the Raleigh area so special. Here's your host, Gretchen Coley.
So, Cary, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm so excited to hear about Design for Joy.
Thanks for letting us come and tell you.
Of course. Well, you know, the way that we met was Heather Thompson, who is the executive director of the Realtor Giving Network, is the one who initially introduced me to you. And as a board member of the Realtor Giving Network, we've actually also given a gift to Design for Joy because we believe that it is such an important piece of giving to community, and you're doing such a great work. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Well, that is a very generous group. You guys are doing incredible work for affordable housing efforts, and not just the gift of a check, which is lovely, but you also give gifts to our women for Mother's Day. So
I
thank
know.
you for that.
We're excited to pack those Mother's Day baskets. So let's talk about Design for Joy, and tell me a little bit about how this idea came about and how you started it.
Sure. So Design for Joy came from my love of women's ministry and also my love for building business. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I created 3 businesses. So I was a solo entrepreneur for 10 years, and I was also doing a lot of international mission work. We had been invited around the globe to inspire artisan groups, either help them produce their business plan or how to market it to the U.S. And after years of that, I found a way that I could marry both of those things right here at home. And I knew that the women in Raleigh, the women that we were serving who were in vulnerable situations, we did food drives, we did bra drives, but what they needed were jobs. They needed living wage job opportunities. So within 2 months of that thought, we were a 501c3. Yeah. We started hiring women. So what we do is we have a line of leather bags and jewelry and home decor, and we invite women in to help us build this brand, and we're doing job training and around it. So we're giving her job experience, we're reminding her of the etiquette of being in a workplace, we're helping her refresh her resume, and we're helping her go on to permanent work.
That is such a valuable service because I think that when people are in vulnerable situations, and we're going to talk a little bit about those, but when they are in those situations, everything is hard. It's hard to find someone to teach you how to work, to find someone to help you learn a new trade, or to help you be able to do the trade that you love to do. And it's all of those things compounded by the fact that you might not have a stable environment around you. It makes it so difficult, especially for women. Like men, you know, I think it's a stereotypical thing that men can go be manual laborers if they want to, but that's not necessarily what you see a lot of women doing. But to be an artisan, you're using all of your gifts to pour into something that's valuable to someone.
It's really therapeutic too. You don't have to come to us knowing how to sew or to make jewelry or to sand our charcuterie boards. Just a willingness to come and show up every day, and we'll fit you into the right job.
So what is the inspiration behind that, though? What lights you up about doing this work? Because this is, you say it so eloquently like it's easy. It is not easy to be a solo entrepreneur. It is really hard. And it is not easy to start a business from thin air. It is really hard. And it is not easy to get a lot of people to work together. That is really hard. You can take a note from me on that one.
Well, real talk is that I started 3 businesses before I started my first nonprofit, and I thought I knew what I was doing. I had a mission statement, I had a vision statement, I had my board members, like we were going to get to work. all of it. But there was such a learning curve when it comes to leading a nonprofit. It is much different. You're leading a board, you're inviting volunteers in, you're making mistakes along the way. I mean, we talk about serving women who are coming from sex trafficking right here in Raleigh, but across the country, you know, how do we serve her best? And we're learning every day how to offer her more and more dignity and opportunities. And we give a ton of second chances, and we don't always get it right, but we put her first and foremost in every decision we make.
That's beautiful, because I've always been a believer, and I try to teach my children this. You never know what battles someone else is fighting. And second chances are a gift from God. And I believe that if God gives us the gift of forgiveness, to a certain extent, we should also extend that same grace, because people don't always get it right. But being able to be in an environment where a woman can come from such a bad situation and do something that transcends everything, like just that job itself, not only feeds her, helps put shelter over her head, but it also transcends how she feels about herself.
Yeah.
And her self-worth. And that is such an important piece to what you do.
Sometimes in the production area, I'll hear a production coordinator or a manager say, you know, your next employer will not find that acceptable. And that's actually a really great way to love women, because if you've never had a formal job before, they've never had that. They've never had that expectation. And we also identify too when we see some self-sabotage coming, because she's coming into this beautiful space with all these women who love her really well. And in the back of her head, she's thinking, are they going to continue to love me when they find out
Who I really am.
what happened? Well, our stories might not be that different. I might have had resources that helped me out of that pit or that hole. And so we can identify that with her and get her through those tough times.
It's kind of like you're helping, these women are building bags, accessories, jewelry, home goods, and they're also building self-worth.
It's not even about the bags.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
know.
I mean? Like, it's not about the bags. It's about learning to trust women again. It's about feeling confident about in yourself that you bring value to a workplace. It's amazing. And it's not just our women that are growing in our space. It's our staff, but it's our volunteers. We have so much corporate sponsorship right now. Like, people really want to align with what Design for Joy is doing. We can all agree that having sex trafficking issue in North Carolina or in Raleigh is unacceptable.
It's completely unacceptable.
A single parent poverty is unacceptable. If someone is just as involved and has served her time in prison, she needs a job. Who will hire her? We will. And we want to encourage small businesses, but large corporations to be thinking, how can we hire women who are coming from trauma? How can we support her here and help her find success?
Well, it's kind of like you're building a little mini workforce. You know, you're helping people, women especially, grow in themselves and be able to serve not only themselves, but the community as a whole. And I think that's probably what the corporations are seeing in Design for Joy, and why it's, and obviously you're such a happy person. So the name totally aligns with your personality.
I do
if
like
your
my
name
job.
was Joey, it would just be a little bit like one more notch on the belt. But so what, tell me about the impact of Design for Joy.
Sure. So when I think about like the pie of help, so all of your favorite nonprofits, Dress for Success, the Women's Center, Salvation Army Project Fight, they're helping women with their housing and their education, and they're getting their children back to safety, all of these things. We are the piece that's the vocational resource. So 30 plus local organizations can call us and say, hey, I have a woman who needs work, and we say she can start tomorrow. And what we do for 7 days, they start as day work. And we love her, we feed her, we give her purpose, a safe place to be during the day. And we actually pay her cash the first 7 days, like a 1099. And for many of our women, that is survival funds. That is so she will not have to exchange herself that day. And I know that's hard to hear, but that is the truth. And then if we feel like she's a really good fit, we're a good fit for her and she's a good fit for us, we invite her in to work for us for 3 to 6 months. And 91% of those women have gone off to permanent work. So we have proven this model to provide security and stability and real change.
That's an incredible stat.
It is.
Like, that is a mic drop moment.
It is good.
91% have stable jobs after.
I hope
Or
I'm
go
not cutting
into.
you off. But we hear very difficult stories, but we see a lot of hope and inspiration from our women too.
That's what I see. definitely hope and inspiration.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the women that you serve, and it sounds like this trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking is a
Yeah.
major problem in the country, in the world, really. But it's, we always want to say to ourselves, not in my backyard, right? But it's prevalent in the Triangle. And why do you think that is?
Well, it is hidden in our own neighborhoods, and we have
Right below our eyes.
exploitation on our phones, even. But we live off of 95, and we have agriculture, and sometimes we have drug issue in North Carolina too, and all of these vulnerabilities point to consumerism, which is unfortunately around sex.
Yeah. It is unfortunate, but it's so beautiful to see the good that can come out of something like this. And you're a big part of it, and some of the other groups that you've mentioned are also huge
Yes.
parts of helping women. And it's such a passion of mine. I grew up with a single mother. I left home at 16 and a half, and I could very well have easily
Sure.
been one of those girls.
Sure.
And so I never take for granted the fact that I had incredible people around me who let me sleep on a couch, or who, and I also had a work ethic. Like, I also knew that the only person who was going to be my hero was me, that there was nobody coming to save me. And a lot of people don't have that. The mental illness struggle is real. And
Yes.
now coming out of COVID, I think, that vulnerable part of the population is more affected than we are. And we haven't seen the stats for real on that yet. So I feel like having access to people who truly can help someone change their lives is incredible. I want to talk about the consumer side of this,
Yeah.
and how people can find you. So how long ago did you open up in downtown?
So we will be 7 years old in
Wow.
August. We have hired, you said, 144 women. We have a 5,000 square foot studio downtown, right off on West Cabarrus Street. We have a storefront down there that's open during the week, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 2. But that's where our production space is. All of our offices are down there. We even have a kitchen where volunteers come in and make meals for our women. But you can come in and shop with us. You could ask for a tour anytime you're there. You can buy online. And we're in 120 boutiques across the country. From Morehead City to Beverly Hills, we have boutiques who are promoting our mission and selling our products.
That is a testament to you, starting in Raleigh and growing. And the way that my team found you was you opened up in Makers Alley
Yeah.
in North Hills Innovation District, and that has been all the rage. So now we're neighbors. And that store, every time they go in there, they come back and they're like, you have to have her on.
It's beautiful.
packed.
Well, it is packed, and everyone is so excited about Makers Alley. Besides us, I think many of those store owners, this is their first brick and mortar. And for Kane to have us already in this area with all these people is really an inspiration.
It really is gorgeous what they've done over there. And it's
It
fun.
is.
And it opens up a part of North Hills to a whole different level of craftsmanship and artistry. And it just kind of changes the game a little bit. This is not a low rent district.
It is not. So to be able to be here and have an opportunity like that was really valuable. I will say that we did get money from our giving circle, and AJ Fletcher Foundation helped us completely cover this
Wow.
project.
That's wonderful, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So how does it work? How do you find these women, and how do they kind of get integrated into your system to help create bags that look, this is just one of the pieces. And Heather Thompson, when she came in,
Yes.
she was carrying a bag and she was like, do you think you might want to give these out as gifts? And
that'd be
and
great.
and the cutting boards and
Yeah.
all of the homewares and stuff. So there's so many options that you have.
I want to say so much. Well, we do have a realtor accounts too, because we want you to be able to use your closing gifts that are made right in Raleigh. And we can put your logo on our charcuterie boards or any of our leather products for home closing gifts as well. But I should mention that my co-founder, Kristen Saito, she's our designer. She went to the Fashion Institute of Technology. She worked for big bag brands, and she knows how to make a $300 bag, luckily, right? And that's our demographic, is 35-year-old women and up who have disposable income, who are willing to spend a little bit more if they know the woman who made that bag and can follow her success.
Such a beautiful gift. Again, so when a woman comes in that needs work, Tell me how that 3 to 6 month process works. I know you said you pay them for 7 days, but you find them through other entities, and then what happens after that?
Yeah, so the day work program, we start everyone at $16 an hour. She'll go through our day work program, and then she goes to that 3-month program, so more in-depth job training. We do help her with interviewing and getting into permanent work. We do share a case manager with one of our partners, so she's getting some extra support within our studio. And what the North Hills location is going to allow us to do is begin a career readiness program. And this is in partnership with Wake Tech. So for a woman who is beyond the acute crisis that a lot of our women are in, for the women who are in a more secure and stable situation, we'll have a 3-month program where they will learn retail management or business management to get her into a management level job.
I might want to go do that.
Which part?
Come through the management training.
Well, it's fun to work at Design for Joy.
That
that's
might
for
be
sure.
beneficial. Can I pay you to come work there?
We're learning every day, right?
That's
we learn every day.
amazing. So one of the things that I love so much about Design for Joy is you talk about, and I want to read this because I don't want to miss the quote, strength lies in differences, not in similarities. And you are huge, and Design for Joy is huge on diversity. Let's dive into that a little bit because it is the way we should all think.
I think about it almost every day, like challenging myself, like who are we serving? Is a woman here who has staff or volunteers that look like herself? So we are always really mindful of that.
So you're really thinking about what everybody else around looks like and how you can make sure that every single woman is comfortable.
I mean, the truth is we're faith-based. We're a Christian-based organization. And for a lot of people, that means like, hold, what are you saying? We start with devotion and prayer on Mondays and Tuesdays, but you do not have to be a believer to participate with us on any level. And I feel very confident saying we've created such a safe place for women to share. Doesn't matter where you are in your faith. We have this table and you're invited and you can share and it's safe and everyone is welcome. We serve trans females, we serve Muslims. Everyone is truly welcome in our space.
That is a beautiful thing to have a space where someone could come in and they can identify with someone who's like them.
For sure.
It's very comforting at another level. Yeah. So why Raleigh? Why is Raleigh such a place that you have decided to stake your flag? It's grown a lot in the last 7 years.
It certainly has. And I wonder what that means for Design for Joy the next couple of years. You know, we're downtown, but will the women that we're serving be downtown in the next 3 to 5 years? They may be pushing out outside the Beltline. Mm-hmm. We'll have to examine that sometime soon. Mm-hmm. But Raleigh is my backyard, and we listed all these needs, all of these insecurities and injustices that are going on. We don't like to think about it, but we need to think about loving our neighbor in a different and practical way.
It's a true, just golden rule, right? It's Christian mindset.
I've needed second chances.
So
before.
have I. Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Everybody needs them. So what is your hope, Cary? What's your hope for the future for Design for Joy?
Well, I know that we are in a really sweet spot of what we do. We serve 5 to 12 women at any time. We try to hire more as we can. I want to inspire other businesses to either be hiring our women or to also hire women who are coming from trauma. And what's coming up for Design for Joy is that we've created a playbook. And so if there's anyone around the country who wants to start a social impact brand, or maybe they're a restoration home for trafficking survivors, and they want to start creating a product, we literally have it in a book and said, here, this is what we did. This is how you can do it. We'll even come and train you.
Wow.
So that's how we're going to be building our impact.
So we can't not talk about a success story. Sure. So tell me about a woman who's come through the program. Give us a little idea of how their lives changed.
Sure. And we do hear tough stories, but so much hope from our women. We had a woman who came to us in her 50s, and she came from isolation, a trafficking survivor right here in Wake County. And she worked alongside of us, and you can imagine that she was a little prickly at first. didn't trust us a lot, but we got through it. And she's one of our success stories in that she left us to work full-time in construction. And she's been in the store recently several times. She won't mind me telling this, but she's come back to tell us that she bought a home and has a dog. And it's not about having a dog. It's about having the security and the sense of responsibility to care for something other than herself. So it's not unusual for our women to come back into the studio to volunteer, to donate, or even to buy because they know the impact that we're making.
How can we volunteer?
Yes, we would love for you to volunteer. We have over 800 volunteers on our list, well over 400 that are active. You could come and sit in our production studio alongside of our women while they're working, and maybe you're tagging bags as they finish, or maybe you could help us with a pop-up somewhere around town. Maybe we have a special event that you'd like to join us at. But we also have for our professional friends, if you're looking to join a committee role or a board role, we'd love for you to grow with us. We have a finance, marketing, fundraising, governance committee. There's opportunities for all of us at Design for Joy.
So if any of you are motivated by this, how can we go sign up for that? Is there a website for that?
Of course. On our website, designforjoy.com, there's a volunteer tab, and you just give us some of your information, and you can say, hey, I learned about you from the Coley Group, and we'll invite you in for a tour, and we'll get you on our volunteer email list, and we'll get to work.
So giving back is like in everything that you do. Yes. Everything.
Sure.
In every aspect of your business. So where can people find you other than your physical locations? Is there a place online they can go take a peek and see if there's something they might want to purchase?
Designforjoy.com, and we love social media, so you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Too.
And if you have purchased at Design for Joy and you have a photo of a bag, we would love for you to drop it in the comments. Drop a comment in and let us know if you've been in, if you've been someone who learned a skill from Design for Joy. We'd love to hear about how that's impacted your life. And, you know, obviously, Cary and I think that Raleigh is a pretty special place, and the people of Raleigh are incredible. And this entire show is dedicated to the people, places, and businesses that you need to know. We drop a new episode every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. And for those of you who are thinking about making a move in the Triangle, this podcast is sponsored by the Coley Group, and we would love to help be your advisor in finding your place in the world right here in Raleigh. You can get all of our contact and Cary's contact information down below, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Best of Raleigh. Cary, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.